What is the console?
What is the console? Okay, that's a good question.
Well, the console is basically a graphical interface for your application. With the console, you will be able to see and interact with the application you're building with Wing.
Okay.
And I guess it will be more clear when I show you.
Awesome.
Okay.
Great. And what's the technology behind the consoles? So we understand.
Well, we are using Electron for the application. We're using React as well, so it's like a browser-based technology.
Awesome, great.
So it's basically built as a web application. There's a backend, there's a front end, and it runs on the local machine as inside the.
Awesome, great. And you basically you're a full stack developer. You know how to do both front end, back end, DevOps,
sideways.
I mean,
yeah, I do everything. Although based on this story, how I met Elad, it may seem that I don't do anything. It's just my girlfriend knows how to do an icon.
That's what that was kind of like my experience was that there was something very specific that I remember that happened, and there was some kind of a subconscious aspect to it.
Yeah. I don't know how to say this in English. In Hebrew, there's shlach lechmecha.
Yeah.
So when you do something good, you send the bread on the water, and you don't know when you're doing this that one time the bread's going to be back. I mean, and that's that's kind of maybe that's what you picked up. Basically, someone sent you bread to the project.
Right.
Awesome. Right. So come on, Christian, show us we already know what's in the console.
But now we know Christian for how long? How long have you been working with us?
Almost a year? Not
almost a year.
Not quite a year,
maybe
but
a little less. A little less.
Yeah.
So we know Christian a lot.
Yeah.
And he's amazing. And I'm like, oh my God, my subconscious was like
spot on. Yeah, exactly. He's amazing. Takes responsibilities. I really like, and a lot of the work that we're going to see today is of course it's teamwork, but you were living in it. So especially the map view. So
the map view.
Map? No, not good. Not a good illustration. Map.
Go ahead. Okay.
So go ahead, man. Show us what you got.
So, okay, I will share my screen. Please let me know if everything is right. Yeah, you can see yourself, right?
We can see ourselves a couple of times. Yeah, I don't know if that's
okay.
Right.
Desired.
Yeah. All right. So for this demonstration,
you can see like this.
That's someone dead of it.
What?
No,
okay, we're with you.
Very good.
All right. Okay, so for this demonstration,
let's talk about your font.
All right. I forgot to change it to something more.
What's the name of the font?
This is Operator Mono. It's a paid font. It got very popular on the PHP Laravel world, as far as I know, and I quite like it a lot.
For PHP, that's how I recognize the in-flight. You said PHP?
Yeah.
That's where I recognize the curly stuff. It was in PHP, right? Wow.
Well, it got popular in the world of PHP and Laravel.
Laravel, no, it's too old.
Yeah, I was like present in some YouTube videos. You could see it in screenshots, and I like it a lot, so I got it.
You know that Daniel, the guy who designed like the logo for Monado, he's a font designer,
right?
And he can't wait to like build a font for Wing.
Really interesting. Yeah.
So maybe
you can work with Christian on it.
Yeah, Christian can be can provide some feedback.
Awesome.
Sure. All right. Anyways, we're going to use a very simple program. As you can see in this Wing file, I'm just creating a bucket for storage, a queue for messages, and then a function, an in-flight function that will be executed for every queue message. And this function will just create a file on the bucket, will create the same file, and the contents of the file will be based on the message it receives.
Yep.
Right.
So basically, you put something in the queue, and it becomes a file in the bucket.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
So now, since I have installed Wing,
it writes the same file to the bucket.
Yeah. So I have Wing installed globally and also the console installed. So I'm able to launch the console like this with the Wingate command.
Okay.
So let's go ahead.
Infamous Wingate command.
Or Wing Run.
Or Wing Run that is going to be like people who...
yeah, only few people will know. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. This is basically the console. On the left side, we've
Can you increase the font a little bit? A little bit increase the font?
Yes. Is it okay like this?
Yeah. For me, it's much better. Are you guys able to see it over there on the panel? Yep. Awesome.
Okay. So yeah, on this place here, there's the hierarchical tree of your application. It's a tree of the constructs that we created, the bucket, the queue, and the handler, the in-flight function. You can see that there are other nodes that we didn't create them. These nodes, we're going to hide them eventually, but they are necessary internally for the Wing SDK to work. But to us in the console, they're just noise. So yeah, in the future, we are getting rid of this.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
Start with an apology.
Yeah.
Yes. So in the middle, we got what we call the map view of the application, which is again all the resources in a hierarchical way, but we also include the relationships between them. So as you can see, if I select a node, it will highlight the connections.
So in this example where you put the cursor on the cloud queue, you're able to see the connection from the cloud queue to the function that, or the in-flight function that gets triggered by that it triggers basically the on message in-flight function. Right?
Yeah. So it's worth mentioning that this is all automatically generated from the
code.
Structure of your Wing program.
Yeah.
And the console is able to reflect on that structure using constructs, and then
right. Yeah.
I'm very excited about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Although there's still many things that we want to improve, like displaying what is the name of this connection. Right. We know that the queue is invoking the function on message. Right. So maybe at some point we will add that text here. And same for the function. It just calls the put method on the bucket. Right. So at some point you will be able to see that.
So it's actually pretty close. It's the thing that I'm working on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Right.
Yeah.
We can talk about this a little bit later.
At this point, you may have noticed the widgets on the right. This is what we call the metadata panel, but the name is work in progress.
Sounds like you're not happy with
it. It's all work in progress still, okay. I think. But yeah,
I like it when you say it's work in progress.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not because I think I actually quite like it, but I like the fact that you're not that you feel that it's already there's more work.
Yeah, it's early. It's still early. There's I know there's many things that we can think of and we can improve. So yeah. Well, basically, this widget here, it will show you information about the node that you have currently selected. So in the case of the bucket, you can see basic information here. we can see specific properties of the bucket.
Nice.
By default, buckets are not public.
Nice.
We can also see, again, the relationships, but this time in a list. You can use it to navigate between the map as well. So if I
Okay,
click
so
it
this
here,
is this is where some of that information that we talked about earlier will appear. So the relationships between resources and
Yeah.
in-flights calling other resources and their.
And as you notice, when he selects it on the right side, it gets activated all over on the.
It's beautiful.
Great.
and the most interesting part is the interact panel here. With this section here, we will be able to do things with the bucket. It also displays the bucket, the files in the bucket, but right now there's none. So I will just upload a file here.
Interesting.
Oh,
I will
I never
do,
done this.
me too.
I will do Inception here. I will just upload the file we're using to run this application.
Oh my god! I never uploaded the file. Nice.
Right. So yeah, here it is. We can download it, delete it. If I had some more files with folders, I should be able to navigate with them. Again, this is still a work in progress. There's many things we can improve here, but you get the glimpse of it.
But the quick question, the technical question. So do we have a cloud bucket here? Then this is basically interacting with the simulator. So when you were clicking upload, you're basically in behind the scene where the console calling bucket.put. I mean the kind of the
Yes.
the public API. Okay, great. So that's great.
That's very cool.
So we're basically in in-flight, right?
We're in in-flight.
We're
yeah.
in in-flight right now. This is the other tabs here, the node, the bucket, and the relationship kind of show the pre-flight infrastructure information, whether the bucket is public.
Yeah.
And now,
This is an infrastructure view of your application.
yeah,
And you can interact with it through its in-flight API.
Yeah.
And the
Nice.
console is doing that. And obviously it can also, for example, execute a Lambda function or add a message to the queue and then trigger, like if you do that, it'll trigger a workflow, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
You
In
wanna try
fact,
and
I'm
do it?
going to invoke this function here.
I would invoke it from the queue, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
add something to the queue and
add
it
a
should,
message to the queue instead of.
Yeah,
invoke.
sure. That was going to be my third step.
Okay,
He's
okay.
like slowly building up for the
Okay,
end
nice,
to end.
nice. I like it.
Okay.
I like it.
There's the interact here is just different, right? We can invoke the function with this button. We can set the payload we want to pass the function here. Right now, it's just a plain text, although it expects a JSON, and in this case, it expects a very specific JSON. We will get rid of this in
You know what we could do?
in the future because it doesn't feel right. But this string here is what will actually end up in the in-flight here. So
Okay.
I will just say invoke test, for example.
So you had a technical idea. Elad had a technical idea.
Yeah, I mean,
Tell me.
the payload, for example, for Lambda functions is currently a string,
Right.
but eventually it's going to be a struct, right? Like you
Like
can
it.
define a struct.
Love it. So you're gonna have this thing will basically show you the struct
Structure,
because struct is,
and there's
is-
going to be JSON schema that it automatically generates, right? Because every
actually-
struct in Wing has a JSON schema.
yeah. So it can show you that. I mean, you can
You
easily
can validate it. You
right,
can make
once,
it
right. Once you have a schema, well, you can even show the right UI for it.
right.
Awesome. Great.
So now that I have invoked the function, we can see that the hello.txt, this file has been created.
Right.
And I will just download it just to make sure that everything is working. Yes, hello, invoke test.
Great.
Hello,
Awesome.
invoke test. Yes. So now I'm going to send a message to the queue just to prove
Why-
that everything works.
Delete the file
Why?
first. Delete
Why
the
did
file
he?
first.
He deleted. Yeah. Okay. Did you? Okay.
I deleted the
delete?
file, yeah, because it will be. I will download
Oh.
it again.
No, he deleted
Oh.
from the downloaded. He
No,
didn't
but
delete.
delete it from the bucket.
He's not going to delete this from the
Why?
bucket because delete
No.
doesn't work, right?
No. I downloaded it to my system.
Yeah.
No, I mean, if you choose, yeah, you have delete here.
Yeah.
Can you do it? Can you use it?
It doesn't work right now.
I don't see.
It doesn't work.
No, that's why he was.
He was
that's why
avoiding
I was noticing that he's avoiding this, and delete the file. Yeah. So delete doesn't work. Also, multi-select doesn't work.
Okay.
But
Fair enough.
Yeah, but this is things that are on our plate, as you say. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, it's
yeah.
good. It's good. We know it's not. I know. We all know it's not.
It will work. So.
Yeah.
It will work at some point.
Yeah. We're gonna override. We're gonna override the
I'm
file.
sure- no,
Who
I'm-
needs to delete the file? Let's override the file.
It's awesome.
Yes, exactly. And we will see. Yeah, here the interact form is just a message. It expects a string, so I can safely take this string here from Q.
Maybe from the weekly
And,
update. Okay. And then we have a message sent.
Yeah,
event.
so we know that the Q sent the message to the function, and now this hello file, it will have a different message in it, right?
That's
Hello from Q.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Can you show the traces?
Yes, you're always ahead of what I'm going to do.
It's good. It's good.
Which is
Which
it's fine,
makes
because
sense.
I was
It makes
going to
it
mention
basically
that right now.
yeah
Basically
how I
kind
would
of,
approach the
Yeah. It confirms that the script is well written.
yeah. Although I would start with the end to end.
Okay. Okay.
Just saying. And then not fall into the delete trap.
What an amateur move. Okay.
So this widget at the bottom is where the logs and the events will show. By default, the events are hidden. If you enable the verbose filter, you will be able to see the message, the events that
We
happened
both like
during our test. All the lists of the packet, the puts, the invocations, even the message sending, etc.
yeah. And
but,
it's worth mentioning that the plan here is to integrate with OpenTelemetry
Right.
and basically instrument the application automatically and use OpenTelemetry to report all of those traces and also include some visualization for those traces, maybe on the map.
Right. So we're gonna have OpenTelemetry kind of provides kind of a language for different log distribution systems to talk on the same language, basically. So trace ID is one of them, spans is the other one, and we should be seeing the traces, and you'll be able to go over a trace and kind of follow it in the map itself. So you can debug this kind of with the time machine or with the flow. Yeah,
It's gonna be
incredible.
so incredible.
Yeah, and then when you deploy this to production, you select if you want this to be running on Datadog, on New Relic, or any OpenTelemetry provider, and they all adhere to those.
Yep. Amazing.
Exactly. I think tracing is very powerful, and being able to see the traces locally, it's going to be a really good feature.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I agree.
You can
I
play
wanted
for
to
the
show
recorder and the...
Yeah, to be honest, the kind of when you need to fix something in Datadog, you wanna fix something in how Datadogs present. You wanna make sure this is inside the span. You have to deploy this to staging and to run this, and it's and you make a mistake because it's logs, and you have to do this again.
Yeah.
The ability to take all that experience back to the local host
Yes.
and keep
And use the same tools that you can use for
Yeah.
production. So it's not
Yeah.
like if you get used to using traces
Yep.
in the host,
Exactly.
in the local console, then
the power is
you understand how to debug the system in
right.
production.
Right. Exactly.
That's an interesting point. We've never really
We're only
we've never
scratching.
discussed this.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Interesting. Go ahead, Christian.
All right.
Okay, I'm back.
Yeah, I was going to show the logs.
Awesome.
Because if you didn't know, you can put print statements in your info functions. And when they get executed, they will appear here. So that's what I'm going to do.
Great.
Also, you will be able to see the reloading of the console.
Nice.
Because when you open a file with the console, it will listen to the changes. And whenever the application changes, it will reload everything.
Right.
So, okay, thanks, Copilot.
Oh, nice. Hello, Message.
Wow. Copilot in Wing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Interesting. So this is in JavaScript. Words is basically a console log, although these messages will appear here. I will also do a fancy change. I will start making different file names just to see something
Oh,
different
I
as
love
well.
that. I wanted to suggest
Okay.
it earlier.
Oh yeah. But
suggestions.
again,
You and your suggestions.
Yes.
okay, so the application is reloaded again. One thing to know.
I love how fast it is.
Yeah.
It's like, my computer is not
Oh.
that fast, I have to say.
Really.
But
We can make it faster, although, but yeah.
it's crazy. Like I'm thinking in normal development, I use TypeScript.
Right.
And I have my editor running with some TypeScript watch.
Yep.
And I have, maybe I want to run Jest, right? Like I'm not even talking about cloud development. I'm talking about just tool chain.
Okay.
And so maybe I want to run Jest on one side and compile my TypeScript on the other side. And so I need to set up my TypeScript compiler to watch and then Jest to watch. And obviously there's a way to do it without compiling to TypeScript, but you always forget and you're to reconfigure your project, even if you're using Progen.
Really.
And this is just, I wrote a text file. I didn't even compile. I didn't run any watch.
Yeah.
I'm just pointing the console at it, and that's it.
Yeah.
I'm changing the code, and the console is updated. That's it. I don't know about compiling, and there's a compiler running in the background. There's stuff going on.
Yeah. Yeah. It's I thought about this also from a very kind of from my point of view because I've grown some time apart from writing software. So when I start writing software, I need to kind of, what tools should I use? This watch thing, I need to kind of gather a lot of things together, and I'm very rusty with that. So Wing is very easy for me, and from this perspective, because I mean, I'm
batteries
I'm one
included.
of the best
included.
programmers in the world in Wing right now. let's acknowledge that.
Christian definitely.
Maybe he's better, but there's only about 20 something like that. I'm one of the best.
One of the best.
One of the best programmers in Wing. Well, I mean, so yeah. Go ahead, Christian.
You probably continue to be one of the best programmers in Wing.
So one thing to note after a reload is that we reset the whole state of the application. Okay. Maybe at some point we don't do that. Maybe we keep the state. I don't know. This is what we're doing now.
Right. So the cloud bucket, the bucket got empty because the code got reloaded.
Yeah. So the state is in memory, basically.
Yeah.
The state is in memory.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So then, I will just send a new message to the queue. And when I do that, we will see the prints on the console, and we will also be able to see the different files in the bucket. So I will just add 2 or 3 messages. Hello, Wing. So here they are.
Oh, nice.
The prints here, and the different files here.
Great. So we're able to see the logs. We don't have the traces yet, but we're able to see the log, and we're able to see what's instance.
Amazing.
In this example,
amazing.
Yeah.
This is
the function.
This is the most you can do, like seeing all the events that happened, but there's no tracing in it. But yeah, we will work on that.
Shouldn't be the type. It should be the instance.
Right.
Okay.
And feature-wise, that's basically it. That's what the console allows you to do.
And when we code later, we'll play with the console more.
Right. We're going to see this kind of how it works with complex resources. Right now we have kind of a floating queue and a floating bucket on the root. Probably want to put this somewhere. Awesome. Anything else, Christian, on your list, on your script? Something that Elad maybe didn't...
one thing that I wanted to say is that I feel like we're still in the stage where we need to prove to people that this is also working on the cloud. I mean, I wouldn't challenge you to do it right now because we'll do it later. We'll do it with the task list.
Okay.
But it's interesting, right? Like I feel like it's something that we don't even fully trust in a sense.
Because we don't have the right tests for that.
Okay.
That's why I don't trust it. If I had a test that would check that it runs on the cloud, then I would know it runs on the cloud.
So
automated test. It's on our
so that's the plan.
Yeah, I mean, it's very hard to trust something that it's not automated tested.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. And I think that's why I wanted to bring that up because I feel like this like we have this motto.
Yeah, guaranteed to work.
Guaranteed to work.
Yeah, if it works on your local host, no, that's. I mean, we're laughing, but this is
this is a serious business.
This is a serious commitment that we're doing.
Yes,
and we're not doing it yet, but once we guarantee that something works on
it works on my machine.
On my machine, it should work on the cloud.
Yes.
It's a meme that we will destroy.
Yeah, no, I'm sure we'll fuck up.
Yeah.
But we have a plan to be intentional about it by testing, by actually creating like a pretty large testing operation to make sure that everything that we do works on all the providers. And
Yeah, like any professional engineering team, we're going to have tests, we're going to have
reports,
issues, we're going to have retros, we're going to tell what we've done wrong, we're going to tell how we plan to fix this, and we'll go out. I mean, it's all about trust, right?
But it's a big it's a big part of how, you know, where we think the value of something like Wing is, and so this is where we think we can also create value by, you know, taking work from engineers, basically. Instead of everyone having to test these applications across providers, we're testing the resources, we're making sure that the resources adhere to the certain contracts across all the providers. And it's going to be really fun and interesting because I feel like it's there's a lot of value baked in this hard work.
Right. But from a console's perspective, the cloud is also interesting. And when we talked about that interact, the fact that the upload interacts with the in-flight API of the bucket, it means that it's not tied into the simulator implementation. So it's tied into the interface of the Wing bucket. So kind of potentially this can go into a staging environment or any other environments on the cloud, and you can interact with your cloud.
That's definitely the long-term plan for the console is to allow you to connect to your cloud applications in production. And,
long term, but
I don't know. I mean, I feel at some point not less longer than you think. I think.
Yeah, I think that's where we don't. It's not. I don't know when, but right now I want to focus that the console is the mechanism to bring back the flow. To allow kind of local host development, fast iteration, testing. We're gonna have testing baked somewhere inside of this thing. Everything's it's gonna be your ID companion, basically.
Correct.
Right. Awesome. Christian, thank you for this excellent discussion and thank you for this amazing work. It's been a delight seeing you work on this and kind of playing with the different options, getting the feedback and the excitement that you bring to the story, because this is an important piece of the puzzle, and we both feel that we're in great hands. So thank you for that.
Thank you for having me.